Welcome to the Bogart Effect, a wealthy wisdom podcast. Please see important disclosure information at the end of the presentation.
When you get RSUs, there's a couple.
Actually, let's take a step back. What is concentration? Right? Like,
Great.
Why does it matter? Right? Because yes, it's compensation that's coming in.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, some people might say, well, that's a risk. Some people might say it's not. What do we mean when we're talking about what is concentration?
Great question. Concentration, really, think about it we talk about diversified portfolios, having a broad mix of investments. When you get RSUs, you're getting stock in one company. Yep. And when we think about things like the S&P 500, diversified portfolios, one company carries a lot of risk. When you think about the broader market, you could have, economic data, influence markets and things like that from a broad perspective, but you're not company dependent. With single stock, you become earnings to earnings dependent in terms of, what sort of events can derail the company. You have a biotech company, something happens in the R&D phase, you have a lot more risk within that position versus holding a basket of companies in a diversified portfolio. So concentration really applies to owning a single name or a couple names relative to a diversified portfolio. Yep. When you own single names, typically speaking, they're much more volatile. And think about concentration also in the framework of your whole financial situation. RSUs and company stock, well, if you're paid by that company, your salary and bonuses dependent on that, your career trajectory is dependent on that company. If something happens to that company, there's a lot of weight. 401k, yeah. Great point. There's a lot of weight on that company. You talked about some people may say, I love the company, I'm okay with that risk. Other people may say, I'm very happy with my firm, I think that it's going to be good, I just don't want all my eggs in one basket. So within concentration, that's really what we're talking about and thinking about.
And I guess, the reason I'm thinking of it, you get to this executive level where, yes, they're incentivized with
The previous podcast was intended for general information purposes only. The information discussed is no substitute for personalized investment advice from Bogart or another investment professional. Different types of investments involve varying degrees of risk, and it should not be assumed that the future performance of any specific investment, strategy, or service will be profitable, suitable, or successful. Bogart is not a law firm or accounting firm, and no portion of its services should be construed as legal or accounting advice. There is no guarantee a client will experience a certain level of results if Bogart is engaged. Our brochure describing services and fees can be found at www.bogartwealth.com.